Hey everybody, this is lecture number 1 for Unit 1, Part 2, How Cultures Change. We've already learned about the characteristics of culture. We've learned that culture is simply defined as everything that makes up a way of life in a particular place. We've also learned that culture is made up of a variety of elements and is reflected in how we go about our daily lives. Our food, fashions, humor, values, and interpretation of what is right or wrong, these are all reflected in our culture. We also learned during our last unit that the elements of culture include social organization, customs, traditions, language, arts and literature, religion, government systems, as well as economic systems. Well, today we're going to learn about how cultures change over time, and I'm going to use music as an example. So, if you were a teenager in the USA during the 1950s, you might have heard this.
Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there.
But if you were a teenager during the 1960s, maybe you heard this. By the late 1960s, teenagers were listening to this.
Called Paint It Black.
And during the 1970s, new types of musical sounds became popular. By the end of the 70s, it was disco. Every generation of kids, they have their own music. By the time I graduated from high school, I was listening to Ace of Base. Not familiar with it? Well, earlier in the 90s, everything grunge was the rage, and wearing flannel shirts and listening to Pearl Jam and Nirvana, that was all the rage. It was considered really cool. See, it's easy to look back on this older music and think, OMG, that was so awful. But just remember that your future children what do you think they'll be saying about your music? What will your children listen to, I wonder? See, music is a great cultural indicator, and I think we can all agree that it changes dramatically over time, just like music changes over time. So what causes this change? What causes cultures to change? Well, there are basically 4 contributing factors to this. First, technology. Technology means the skills or tools that people use. And during the Paleolithic era, early people used stone tools. But by the time the New Stone Age or the Neolithic era rolled around, people were using bronze tools. Our technology has changed over time. I mean, look at the computer, for heaven's sake. It has evolved from a room-sized machine to a device we can now fit in our pockets. The same can be said of cell phones, which used to be so big and cumbersome, but now have been merged with computer technologies to create smartphone devices. Technology is always changing. No sooner has one device arrived than it's already obsolete. The second cause of cultural change is a changing environment. We learned last unit that people have had to adapt to their environment or their physical surroundings in order to survive. A great example of this is the Native American people of the Great Plains. Their entire way of life or culture depended upon the buffalo herds, and they would travel from place to place following the herds. Once European settlers began encroaching on the Great Plains and slaughtering the buffalo herds, the Native American lifestyle was destroyed to a large extent. Another great example of a changing environment is Dubai. Dubai is a city located in the United Arab Emirates, or the UAE. It is quickly becoming a tourist destination. They're even building islands off the coast of Dubai that resemble the world. Yeah, for a few $1,000,000, you can buy an island shaped like an actual country. Dubai is in the middle of the desert. By all accounts, people shouldn't live there. So how is it that it has become a tourist destination and a center of trade? I mean, they even have an indoor ski resort. You can go skiing in the middle of the desert. Wow. Well, Dubai is a new city, and it began its massive rise to prominence following the discovery of oil there in 1966. Over the years, this oil has helped to make Dubai rich. The UAE is a monarchy and was led by a man named Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum until 2006. And it was Maktoum who helped to begin this building up of Dubai. His brother took over in 2006 when Maktoum passed away. His brother, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, or Mohammed Al Maktoum, he has continued Dubai's rapid growth. Changing one's environment takes ingenuity and the desire to apply existing technology. The Al Maktoum family has essentially ensured that Dubai will remain an important economic and tourist center long after the oil is gone. They've created a place that people want to visit. So this is one of just many examples of people adapting to their environments. The third cause of cultural change includes new ideas. As people look at their own cultures, they often notice both the good and bad effects humans have on their environment and society. New ideas can inspire change in a culture to address concerns that people have. For example, people have started recycling programs to address the problem of garbage disposal and how garbage affects the environment. Recycling has become a way of life in our culture for most people, and this exemplifies what we call social change. Finally, the fourth cause of cultural change is diffusion. Cultural diffusion is the spread of goods and ideas from one place to another. A great example of cultural diffusion is McDonald's. You can find Mickey D's around the globe. Billions are served every year, right? And if you're one of those people who proudly says, "Oh, I don't ever eat fast food," in that snotty tone, listen, not helpful here, okay? Good for you and your condescension.
I reference McDonald's a lot because I go to McDonald's. I love the silence that follows that statement. Like I just admitted to support dog fighting or something. How could you? McDonald's? It's fun telling people you go to McDonald's. They always give you that look like, "Oh, I didn't know I was better than you."
Malloy feeds her kids the occasional chicken nugget, okay? The fact of the matter is McDonald's is identifiable around the globe. Everyone knows what a chicken nugget is in most countries. And you know, they taste pretty much the same whether you're in Japan, France, Poland, Mexico, or the USA. And I speak from experience on this, as I've made a point to sample McDonald's in all the countries that I've visited. Happy Meals are universal, my friends. McDonald's has been around the globe, or has spread rather around the globe, and is identified as fast food. I mean, when we think of fast food, that's probably the most likely chain you think of. That, or the Golden Arches. So that, my friends, is cultural diffusion. So now that we know what causes cultures to change, what helps spread this change? Well, recent technology has brought about immense change around the globe at a very rapid rate. The internet and satellite technology make this instantaneous for most people, so long as you have internet access. Improved communications and transportation allow us to transmit and share ideas instantly. However, rapid change can also be detrimental. Sometimes rapid technological change leads to valuable traditions being lost. For instance, how many of you could write an entire essay in cursive handwriting? See, cultures are always changing. The culture of your own children will be undoubtedly different than yours. And you'll fondly look back and remember those good old days, the good old days of One Direction and The Voice. And your own children will roll their eyes and tell you, "Oh my gosh, Mom, you are so incredibly lame." See, cultures change. Thanks for listening. Bye.